Namaskar. I am Dr. Sapunti brings you the viewpoint. The US-Iran conflict has once again intensified, raising fears of a wider war in the Middle East. Fresh military strikes, retaliatory attacks, and rising tensions around the Strait of Hormuz are making headlines worldwide. In today's video, we will explain what has happened in the last few days, why has the conflict escalated again, what are the implications for global oil prices and India, and what could happen next. Let's begin. The biggest development is that the United States has launched another wave of military strikes against Iranian targets. According to US officials, these strikes were aimed at degrading Iran's military capabilities and protecting American interests in the region. Iran has responded with missiles and drone attacks targeting US-linked interests, and several Gulf countries continuing the cycle of retaliation. Reports also indicate renewed fighting after earlier diplomatic efforts failed to hold. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most strategic waterways. Nearly one-fifth of global oil trade passes through this narrow sea route. The latest confrontation has focused heavily on this region. US President Donald Trump announced renewed measures aimed at controlling maritime access around the strait, while Iran continues to challenge US actions. Any disruptions here immediately affects global energy markets. What would be the impact on India and oil prices? India imports more than 80% of its crude oil requirements. If tensions continue, global crude oil prices may remain volatile. Shipping insurance costs could rise. Transportation costs may increase. Petrol and diesel prices in India could come under pressure if high crude prices persist. However, actual retail fuel prices in India will depend on international crude prices, the rupee-dollar exchange rate, taxes, and decisions by oil marketing companies. Countries across the world are urging restraint. The United Nations and several governments have called for de-escalation to prevent a wider regional war. At the same time, many countries are monitoring energy supplies and preparing contingency plans in case the Strait of Hormuz faces prolonged disruption. What could happen next? Several scenarios are possible. The first is that there may be limited military exchanges continue without a full-scale war. Secondly, diplomatic negotiations resume and tensions gradually may reduce. And third scenario, the conflict expands involving more regional actors, creating a larger Middle East security crisis. At present, the situation remains highly fluid and developments are changing rapidly. The renewed US-Iran confrontation is no longer just a regional issue. It has implications for global energy markets, international trade, and countries like India that depend heavily on imported crude oil. Whether diplomacy succeeds or military escalation continue will shape the Middle East and the global economy in the coming weeks. And that's all for now. Thank you.